Welcome. Today we're going to talk about creativity and brilliant ideas, but not in the way you often hear about in popular articles and advice columns. You might have noticed, most tips about creativity simply don't work. Some promise instant inspiration, others say you just need to keep trying, but real results are rare. Why does this happen? The answer is simple. Most advice doesn't take into account how our brains actually function. In this episode, I'll share scientific discoveries from neurophysiology that have changed our understanding of the creative process. These findings show how each of us can unlock our own genius by using our brain's potential in the most effective way. Let's take a closer look at how breakthrough ideas are really born, and, most importantly, what we can do to reach a state of true creativity.
Modern neurophysiology has uncovered fascinating details about how our brains actually work when we're being creative or searching for original solutions. Creativity may seem like something mystical or elusive, but in reality, very specific and well-studied mechanisms are at play. Our brain operates through three major networks, often referred to as circuits. The first is the central executive network. This system is responsible for focused, goal-oriented activity. It kicks in when we're problem-solving, analyzing information, planning our steps, or fully concentrating on something important. This is the on-task mode, essential for serious work and productivity. The second is the so-called default mode network, or resting state network. It becomes active when we allow ourselves to relax, step away from strict control, and let our thoughts wander freely. For example, during a walk, a shower, or moments of quiet idleness. While this state might seem unproductive, it's actually critical for associative thinking and making surprising connections between seemingly unrelated ideas. The third network is the salience network. Its function is to help us notice and highlight anything new, unusual, or unexpected in the flow of our thoughts. Think of it as an internal radar system, picking out the ideas that could potentially lead to breakthroughs or creative leaps. Scientific studies reveal a crucial principle. True creativity is not just about deep, concentrated mental effort. It's equally about being able to switch out of that intense mode and into a state of relaxation, allowing the brain to process and recombine information under the surface. This smooth transition between focus and relaxation is what gives rise to fresh, original solutions and those aha moments that seem to come out of nowhere. Many major discoveries and creative breakthroughs happen precisely when the brain is first saturated with information through intense work, and then given room to reorganize and recombine that knowledge during periods of rest and mind-wandering. Our brains are naturally designed to perform this switch, but the constant noise and stimulation of the modern world often gets in the way of this vital process.
The most groundbreaking, truly brilliant ideas rarely emerge while we're sitting at our desks, relentlessly forcing ourselves to find solutions. In fact, those striking insights, or aha moments, almost always appear when the brain switches from active effort to a relaxed, peaceful state, or even during periods of gentle idleness. History is full of examples from some of the world's greatest minds. For instance, Isaac Newton discovered the law of universal gravitation not in a laboratory, but during a simple walk, observing an apple fall from a tree. Albert Einstein often said that his best ideas would come to him while playing the violin or walking in nature. Mozart reportedly came up with melodies when he was out on a stroll or engaged in other quiet, unrelated activities. Scientists explain this phenomenon as follows. When we stop trying to consciously solve a problem and allow ourselves to unwind, our brain begins to process the accumulated experience and knowledge, automatically making new connections between fragments of information. This is when the default mode network, or rest network, kicks in, and associative thinking comes to life. Those are the moments when spontaneous, fresh ideas surface. Ideas that can't be generated by logic or willpower alone. It's important to note that this process is not about being passive or lazy. Almost always, a brilliant idea emerges only after we have invested plenty of time and energy into studying an issue, thinking it over from every angle, and only then letting go of conscious control.
Scientific research and the experiences of great creators reveal that the path to real creativity almost always unfolds in three distinct stages. Stage 1. Deep immersion in the task. At this stage, it's crucial to fully concentrate on the problem, study the topic from all angles, gather as much information as possible, think through details, and experiment with different approaches and solutions. This is the time for analysis, exploration, and making mental connections. Without this phase, creativity remains superficial. Your brain simply has nothing to build new ideas from. Stage 2. Rest and distraction. When you sense your focus is fading or you're hitting a wall, it's time to let your mind relax. This is when the resting state network becomes active, and your brain, seemingly on autopilot, starts to form unconventional links between the information you've already absorbed. The best way is to engage in simple, calming activities. Take a walk, do mundane chores, practice breathing exercises, or simply lie down with your eyes closed. The key is to avoid external distractions and not force results. Stage 3. Capturing and reflecting on ideas. Often, new ideas, insights, or solutions appear suddenly. It's important to record them right away. This could mean writing in a notebook, saving a voice memo, or typing a note on your phone. Of course, not every idea will be brilliant, but among them, there will definitely be those that lead to true breakthroughs. Over time, you'll notice that spontaneous insights arrive more often and become more valuable. Repeat this cycle: deep work, rest, idea capture. This approach allows you to make the most of your brain's resources and unlock your creative potential, no matter your profession or area of interest. To make creativity a natural part of your life, it's not enough to understand how the brain works. You also need to deliberately practice exercises that help develop creative thinking. First, regularly repeat the cycle: deep work, rest, capturing ideas. Use a dedicated notebook or set reminders on your phone. For example, after 1 or 2 hours of focused work, take a break for 20 to 30 minutes and do simple activities unrelated to your main task. Second, minimize external information noise. Silence music, social media, news, and unnecessary notifications, especially during your rest phases. Your brain needs to digest information in peace and quiet, rather than constantly consume new data streams. Third, vary your forms of rest. Don't just rely on walks. Experiment with light stretches, simple drawing, meditation, or leisurely reading fiction. Make sure your rest isn't replaced by mindless scrolling or binge watching. Such activities don't help your brain shift into a creative state. Fourth, write down even your weirdest or wildest ideas. Don't judge or analyze them immediately. Often, it's the most unusual thoughts that spark major breakthroughs. Fifth, schedule social media and gadget detoxes a few times a week. Give your brain time away from constant stimulation to boost the natural work of your creative networks. Over time, you'll see, creativity is not so much a magical talent as it is the result of continual training. And your mind will start generating non-standard solutions, even in everyday situations. To bring creative habits into everyday life, start with simple and accessible activities that allow your mind to rest and your associative thinking to flourish. Here are a few practical tips you can try right now. Take a walk outside. Coloring patterns work just as well. These mechanical actions help you let go of control and allow your thoughts to flow freely. Read something new and unusual. Try literature you don't usually pick: short stories, poetry, popular science, or philosophy. New material creates new connections in your thinking. Engage in light physical activity. Stretch. Do a few simple exercises or practice some gentle yoga. Movement helps your brain break free from repetitive thought loops. Practice relaxation rituals.
Use breathing exercises, meditation, or simply gazing out the window. It's important to give yourself a few moments of quiet and inner calm each day. And finally, a bonus for all listeners. The author has prepared a free... Let's sum up the essentials. Creativity isn't a gift reserved for a lucky few. It's a skill that anyone can develop consciously and gradually. The real secret is alternating periods of deep mental work with genuine rest. It's this shift between modes that unlocks real insights, genius ideas, and new ways of seeing things. Don't stop at what you've already achieved. Experiment, try out different practices, and listen carefully to yourself. Remember, every journey of growth starts with small steps, and those steps shape your unique creative personality. I wish you inspiration, the courage to explore new things, and above all, the openness to unexpected ideas. May each day give you a fresh perspective on the familiar, because that's exactly where real genius is found. Thank you for joining me. See you in future episodes.